All right, everyone. Welcome to our September 2020 meeting. I do hope everyone is there and having a good day today. All right, everyone. Welcome to our September 2020 meeting. I do hope everyone is I just had to stop that. Do not need a double voiceover. Today's meeting agenda will be, well, I'll be going over the usual again. Who are we? What the difference is between homesteading and a prepper, the similarities between homesteading and preppers, the upcoming fall homestead and prepper bazaar, and also backyard fisheries. Now, some of you may not know what a fishery is, but we'll get into a discussion on that in a few minutes. Now, who is the Homestead and Preppers Guild? We are a subdivision or a small group of. One second, someone wants to come in. Well, I let them in real fast. We are a subdivision, whoops, of the Resource Guild of Requiem. We provide the community with resources that include knowledge and homesteading and prepping basics, skills and stuff that some people may want to know. We also encourage our community to be self-sustaining and self-reliant, to be able to make things themselves, similar to, as I like to put, how our grandparents used to do. At the same time, we show people how to be steward of their land, how to grow their own food, so to say. True or false? Homesteaders and preppers have many skills that overlap. Now, if you guess true, you're right. Many skills that both sides learn can be overlapping, can be both utilized in the prepper community and vice versa. Both groups are built
Hey,
on.
Christopher, we can't see your share screen.
Is it not? It should be.
All we're getting is just the GOR logo.
That's weird. I set it to the PowerPoint.
There it goes.
Oh, sorry about that.
What I usually do is I share my entire computer screen versus trying to share a specific application.
It was set to the. Okay. Sorry, everyone. Looks like we had a little computer glitch.
There we go. I'll go back in when I get home tonight and I'll edit out all the other stuff and we'll restart new.
Okay, so just start from here?
Yep, let's just go ahead and restart from here.
All right. This is live on YouTube too.
Yeah, no, I can go and I can edit out the first bit on a YouTube and resave the video.
Okay. Hello, everyone.
That's why I try to give, that's why I have like the little 5-10 minute rule before I actually start presenting anything, is so that it gives us time to make sure that we are up and functional. And I have an alternate screen, either on another mobile device or a computer, so I can check to make sure we are streaming on YouTube and we're actually seeing stuff.
Well, I did that and I checked on my screen. It was showing me the PowerPoint.
Uh-huh. I see the opening deal now.
Okay, let's get going.
Okay. Hi everybody, I'm Robin. I'm logging in remotely from the Shindig. Robin Fraser, Kearney Fraser. I'm the president of Guilds of Requiem Incorporated. We are a nonprofit recognized by the state of Texas. This is our monthly Homesteaders and Preppers Guild meeting for the month of September.
Hello, everyone. I'm Christopher, though sorry that you can't see my face. I don't have a camera for this computer yet. Those things aren't cheap. And my laptop, let's just say being 10 years old, is slow as molasses.
That could be why we're having issues. Um, that's okay. We're on.
Oh,
We're going now. So go ahead and we'll start.
all right, everyone. Welcome to our September meeting 2020. I do hope everyone has had a wonderful month since our last meeting and has been very informative and productive from the information we've been putting out. Now, this month's agenda. I just said week, my bad. I'm going to be going over the usual, like I do every month, just for our new members and people that are seeing this. You never know who's going to be seeing this and hasn't seen it before. Who are we? Difference between a homesteader and a prepper. The similarities, excuse me, between a homesteader and a prepper. Upcoming fall homestead prepper bazaar. And backyard fisheries discussions. Now, who is the homesteader and prepper guild? We are a subdivision of the Resource Guild, meaning we're I guess you could say a side party of them.
We're a project. The Homesteaders and Prepper, we have 7 guilds with Guilds of Requiem. Resources Guild is one of our departments. And the Homesteaders and Preppers Guild being a community resource, it falls under that. And so we consider it a gilded project. Go ahead with the next one.
Okay. We provide the community with resources and knowledge to help them to gain skills that would either be with homesteading or prepping basics, such as what we've done with the tinctures and the other PowerPoints that we put out. Things that most nowadays people don't either know, or sometimes people just want to dive in but don't know where to start. We also encourage the community to be self sufficient, reliant, and be able to produce some of the basic things that we used to do ourselves, not running out to HEB, Walgreens, Walmart, just to get things that, ooh, we used to be able to grow it or make it ourselves. At the same time, we show people how to be stewards of the land that you live on. Now, true or false? Homesteading and preppers have many skills sets and that are similar. Stumbled over my words on that one.
Homesteaders and Preppers have many of the same sets and goals, skill sets and goals. Answer's true.
If you guess true, you're right. Many of the skills that are needed to be a homesteader are also utilized by the prepper community, and vice versa. Both groups are built on being independent and self reliant. Take, for example, my friend who's a prepper. They started starting how to grow crops, simple crops such as corn, peas, radishes, and cucumbers. Just as a homesteader does studies how the seasons of the year, figuring out what time to grow different crops. Two skills that you may not think they are alike, but they're interchangeable. Now everyone, here comes to an interesting bit. We are coming up to our annual fall homesteader and prepper bazaar on October.
You want me to take this one? And
Go
I'll just tell
ahead.
you when to clean the hit the button.
Go right ahead.
I do the event coordinating for all of the events at Guilds of Requiem. This is our second annual Fall Bazaar coming up on October the 3rd from 10 a.m. until 5 p.m. out at the Shindig. Go ahead and bring up the text that we have going with it. We do have a sign up on our website for vendors. It's guildsofrequiem.com/vendors-sign-up. On there is our contract for vendors. Anytime that you come and vend for us, we do have a contract that you sign just because we got to keep it legal. Our booth space is $50 per space. It's approximately 12 by 12 with at least 12 foot between you and the next vendor because we are social distancing out here. Yet we are outside in Bandera County, actually in Bandera, Texas, just past Polly Peak as you're going down Highway 16 to Bandera. We are, because this is sponsored, this month's first Saturday market for October is sponsored by the Homesteaders and Preppers Guild. We will barter for the spaces. So if you are willing to have a bartering optional sign at your booth to let customers know that you are willing to barter for your products, we will reduce the price to $25 per space. The other thing that you can do is we would like to have some more activities and demonstrations happening on that day. That if you are willing to present for us or provide an activity, then we will go ahead and waive the fee completely. We do have an area for pure barter swap only. This can be anybody. You do not have to have a business license, sales tax permit, or anything else in which to set up in that area. It's just good old fashioned, hey, I've got eggs, you got jam. Anybody have any chickens? Anybody, what does everybody show up and bring with as people sign up between now and October the 3rd? We do have a event on Facebook for the Fall Bazaar. You just need to email Homesteaders and Preppers Guild at gmail.com. We don't try to break any brain cells on naming our email addresses. We want to make sure that you're getting the right email address for the right reason and the right event. Go ahead and hit enter.
I forgot.
We will have entertainment. Yes, Mythica Tribal Belly Dance will be
Robin,
here.
say that again. You're breaking up bad.
Oh, we got traffic here.
Well, you broke up completely.
Huh?
You're breaking up completely.
I'm breaking up completely? Okay, well, I don't know where my extra microphone is, and if I adjust my camera any further, everybody's going to be seeing down my shirt. So let me turn my camera off. Okay, can you still hear me?
Yeah, you're much clearer now.
Okay, I turned my camera off. I went from one meeting to another meeting to another meeting to another meeting today, and didn't think all the way through. We will have entertainment on Saturday, October the 3rd. The first group from our Bards Guild of Requiem, which is our newest gilded project. We will have Mythica Tribal Belly Dance. They have bartered their way to be out here to do a performance for us at 3 p.m. They will have a gratuity box set out, which is basically a fancy way of saying a tip jar. We encourage our vendors to show them how much we appreciate them entertaining us by adding items to their boxes and to make sure that we're providing enough for all of the ladies that are there. So if you're giving up a jar of jelly, make sure you're giving a jar of jelly for everybody. Go ahead, hit enter. El Corazon, and Carlos is probably going to get after me because I have a horrible Spanish accent.
El Corazon.
El Corazon International Catering. He does Cuban food with a twist. He is going to be previewing his Ren Fair Bandera County offerings. We have baby dragon legs. We have roasted dragon nails and dragon eggs. And what that basically is smoked turkey leg, stuffed chicken wrapped in bacon and then grilled, or a baked potato with the works. So he's trying to test it out, see what everybody likes, if it's good or not. We have our Ren Fair Bandera County is happening on November 28th and 29th, the weekend of Thanksgiving. We like to take advantage of the Black Friday, and we will have our third annual Black Friday market where we encourage our vendors to dress up as pirates. Go ahead and hit enter. And then at 4 o'clock, we will be demonstrating how to process chickens, including a chicken anatomy class. Right after that, we're going to have a campfire family style cookout. We have the chicken and Indian fry bread. We encourage everybody else to bring something to contribute to the community style meal. Go ahead and hit enter. That should be everything for the upcoming second annual Fall Homesteaders and Preppers Bazaar. The next one that we'll be hosting will be in the spring of next year, and those dates will be announced in January. Okay, and I will turn this back over to Christopher so that he can do his presentation on fish.
All right, everyone, we're going to be talking about backyard fisheries. Now, how many of you have always, well, if you're like my family, you eat a lot of fish, chicken, beef, and pork. But sometimes, oof, that can get expensive. Maybe raising the fish in the backyard might be a good idea. Now, containers. Not everything you're going to find is going to be good to hold fish. Now, as you saw in the earlier one, an IBC tote, wonderful container. But you do have to be careful. You want to know what's going to be what was last stored in the container. If it was a food grade item, I'm talking about cooking oil. I've even heard salad dressing and other things like that being held in the container. It's going to be okay, but I would still recommend giving it a thorough wash. Now you can do the same thing I did. Thorough wash it, a little bit of vinegar, and some Dawn dish liquid. Voila. Hey, it's gonna need some elbow grease, but it's gonna work. No, just said that. Now, another thing, which I have found actually on Let It Go in Facebook, are nice, large wooden crates. Now, these things, you may need to sand it down on a few places, add an extra nail, and then cut it to where it doesn't point in. But you're going to need to line it with a pond liner on the inside, and as well as waterproof it with some type of sealant. Now, the last one, probably the easiest one to actually find, but it may cost you a pretty penny, is the preform ponds. Not much. The only thing you're going to have to do is dig the hole for it and then fill it back up and make sure that it's in the ground. And then it's not gonna come back up with any type of rain or anything. Hey, I've heard it. Now, the depth of these, at minimum, you are gonna need 2 feet, no less. The best depth is gonna be from 3 to 4 feet. Now, the reason for this is that if the container system is too deep, the water will separate. Now, I don't mean separate as in like oil and water. I mean it will separate between the layers of oxygen, from the top layer having a nice, rich oxygen layer, and the bottom being nice and low. Now, this can be corrected if you add with oxygenation, which can be easily fixed by putting a oxygen disc at the bottom, or an aeration disc, as they're mostly common, to attach to an oxygen pump close to the middle of the tank at the bottom. That will constantly keep moving the air into the water and keep agitating the water. And you'll actually find your fish's health. They'll love it. Now, we'll go a little bit more in depth into that with this. A good aerated oxygen is essential for good health and rapid growth in your fish. Now, how many of you noticed in a pet store one that doesn't really, it just has the filter and then just puts it back in? The fish are very sluggish, they're not too fast. Sometimes that could be because there's just not enough oxygen in the water and they're just trying to preserve as much as they can. Or you see them glubbing the water at the top. But even though you put fish flakes, they ain't eating the fish flakes. They're just glubbing water. That's them trying to bring oxygen through their gills, mixing in the water. Now, as I said, a simple thing to do is get an aerated stone is needed in the container that you choose, and also put it with an air pump. Keep it in, make sure it just agitates the water and puts a lot of oxygen in there. Now, there is such a thing as I like to say, as long as you're not blowing the fish out with the oxygen, there's never too much in there. Hey, I've heard stories of people putting way too much oxygen and just causing it to bubble up so much that whew, it's just blowing the fish out. No, 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 no. You don't want that much oxygen in there. Now, water quality. Now, most of us don't have to worry about this because you live on city water, but this also has to include people who use their own well water. You want it to have as clear as possible. You don't want it muddy. You don't want it red. Well, there's some places you're just not going to get a choice in the water you're going to do, but, well, yeah. Now, if you are on city water, the biggest problem you are going to have is chlorine. That can kill the fish if there's too high of a concentration. A good way to filter it is to put it through a carbon or charcoal filter. Now, people think, oh, I'm going to have to go buy an expensive charcoal filter now. Ooh, oh. No. If you go to the store, get a Berkey water filter system, and just pour it. Well, that may take some time. But if you have believe I included it in my water quality filter system. I included a cheap and easy way to make a water filter. Same process. You just use that. Now, people who are on well water, you have to watch out for the mercury and heavy metals. I would suggest going to get your water tested. See what's in it. Now, there's no heavy metals and everything. The pH is low or high. Now, your water's pretty good. Now, as I said, pH. pH in the water is very crucial too, because fish have a pH that they like. As I said, fish tend to be happy between 6 and 8, but if you can keep it close to the 7 range, they'll be delighted. Now, pumps and filter systems. Now, what you're first going to have to do is determine the volume of the container that you're going to be using to figure out the pump. Then determine how high you're going to need the water to move to figure out move the water, which is also known as the head. This will help you choose the amount of the pump you're going to need. Now with the pump itself, each pump, submersible pump that you get has a different head height. When I say head, it means how high the pump can push the water up before there's a point where it can't push this any higher. And with this, and for an easy, yes, people may make fun of me, but hey, it works. For an easy filter, it's going to be easy and cheap. And I've seen these galvanized wash tubs at HEB for I think what $8 with the spigot in it. Though you're probably gonna have to change the spigot into something that can handle it more. And all you have to do is just use the inside of a polyester pillow. Voila, you have a filter. Now you're gonna have to change it every couple of weeks. Well, depending on how much fish you have in there, from every couple of weeks to maybe a month. But just watch the filter. If it looks like it's getting too nasty, get another pillow or the stuffing. Turn off the filter. Pull out the stuffing. Change it. Voila. You always want to make sure that the water that comes from the filter, comes from the pump, goes into the filter, and then just goes straight back, right back into the container you're using. So the filter is always just going to be a little bit higher than the actual container. Now you can use a ladder, a stool. It just depends on how high the actual container that you hold your fish are in. Now, fish. Now these three. Now, bluegills. Here in Texas, we got them in the river and everything. They prefer a nice 80 degrees Fahrenheit, can be easily raised on just pellet food, and be harvested within 12 to 16 months. Next is channel catfish, a very good species to be raised to eat. Now, one thing catfish don't have scales, so yes, you are going to have to skin a catfish. The best temperature, again, is the same as the bluegills. They like 80-degree water. They can be harvested in 5 to 10 months. And catfish, they'll eat just about anything, from vegetables to pellets to bugs. Last but not least, one of my favorites is tilapia. They prefer 77 to, ooh, excuse me, got the hiccups here. They prefer 77 to 86 degrees Fahrenheit and can be harvested within 7 to 9 months. Out of all the fish, they probably have the best growth rate for almost a 1-to-1. For every gram you feed them is the gram that they grow. They are omnivores, but at the end of their growth rate, they become more herbivores. So just be careful there. Now, when it comes to actually getting your fish, I would suggest, because depending on where you live, some fish are not allowed because they're invasive species. So I would also suggest take it up with your local game and fish department to make sure that you don't need any special license or anything to have the fish, or to make sure you're not getting a fish that's an invasive species and you don't get slapped with a big fine. At the same time, they can also help you find good places that sell these fish. Well, the baby fish, at least, that you can raise. Now, anyone have any questions?
No, If anybody has questions, this will once I edit our front little bit. Just feel free to put the questions in the comments on our YouTube. We do keep the channel, the commentary open, and we do monitor our channels for comments. Be sure to subscribe to the Scholars Guild. We have Tuesday topics that are going to be starting up this week that has to do with marketing, business management and marketing, social media management. So we've got, it's definitely worth your while to bookmark the Scholars Guild of Requiem channel on YouTube. We'll also drop a link of this into our group, the Homesteaders and Preppers Guild, on Facebook. We also have a group on our website. If you go to www.guildsofrequiem.com/group and join our website, we highly recommend using Chrome. And if you have a Gmail account or a Google account, use that to log in. Makes life so much easier. We've got several groups there. Every group that we have on Facebook is cloned onto our website. Should Facebook go away, we won't. We will still be here. But if you want to go ahead and end the live feed, Christopher, I believe that is everything that we have for today. We look forward to meeting everybody on October the 3rd at our second annual Fall Homesteaders and Preppers Bazaar.
Okay. Hope everyone have fun. And I'll be putting up on the Homesteader page a little poll once I figure out some new topics to see if we can get a vote with the people. Okay, why am I still saying live on YouTube?